hit the record button. And it says it's recording. All right, I think we're good to go. So let me just double check. I have 11 participants. I had 14 students on my roster. So let's see here. Oh, we got another one. Got 12 so far. All right, guys. So anyways, my name's Omar Sevilla. At some point, it would be nice to see your faces. If you're not ready for that, I understand. We want to make that kind of the, and if your technology doesn't allow, I totally understand. But it's nice to put a face to a name, and you know, God forbid this thing ever is over, we'll be able to see each other in real life and recognize names and faces. So, so I'm Omar Sevilla. I've been at Miramar College since 2005, and I've been teaching the engines class since those early days, with a little break here and there. So this semester is unique because of the COVID situation. I hope you all have been healthy and not affected by it, other than the basic adjustments to our daily lives. But what we're going to do is I'm going to focus on teaching you guys as much as I can in our current environment about engines and how they work and how to make repairs. Well, first, how to diagnose an engine, issues with engines, and then make repairs on those problems. So that's going to be our main focus after this first week. This first week, the focus is going to be COVID and safety, SP2 safety. Now, how many of you, just by show of hands, or you can comment on the chat, how many of you have never taken an auto class at Miramar before? I'm just curious to see. 1, 2 there. Okay, I got, okay, a little handful of you guys. Okay, so that's cool. That's totally fine. This is not a bad class as your first class. It's and it's nothing to be intimidated about. If I'm using language that you're not familiar with, please stop me so that I can clarify if I go too fast or whatever. I want to make sure that everybody's getting their money's worth out of this program. So Hunter, it looks like you never at Miramar, you've taken classes elsewhere? Okay, cool. Did you go to auto shop high school in San Diego somewhere? Poway, all right. So, so cool. So there's a handful of automotive high school programs in San Diego. I'm in constant communication with many of the teachers from those programs. So, so hopefully we're all in good hands here with me leading you guys through this class. So did anyone get a chance to look at the Canvas, Canvas page for this class yet? Okay, I got some yeses, some nods.
No,
if
not
you
yet.
haven't had a chance to see it, the way I like to do this on the Zoom meetings is I will minimize the Zoom window so I can still see the speaker, and then I pull up my other window on one side of the screen so I can kind of jump back and forth. But the first thing I'm going to do is demonstrate how to get into the Canvas learning system, because that's going to be the platform we're using for this class. There will not be any papers handed in this semester because of the COVID situation. Everything's going to be online, and there's going to be a lot of rules and protocol about how we do things to try to prevent spreading this virus. So I don't know how much you guys know about the virus. I probably know as much as anybody else. It's a contagious virus. It can be spread between people whether or not you have symptoms. The best way to prevent the spread is by wearing our face masks. And when we are entering the facility, we're going to be getting our temperatures taken at Miramar College when we get there to do our hands-on labs. So I have some stuff on Canvas that we're going to walk through. There's a lot of requirements. We have a special special circumstance from the state and the college. They're giving us a special privilege to be able to work hands-on in the lab. So as long as we're following the rules, we should be able to keep that opportunity alive. If anybody's violating those rules, they can pull that from us, and that would affect everybody in the class. So I just ask that everybody kind of follow along. There's one other thing I was going to say, and it spaced me right now, but that's okay. I'm going to share my screen. We'll come back to what I was going to say, if I remember. Still recording. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my computer sound. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, so here, this is the homepage for Miramar College, or San Diego Community College District. So what I like to do, the easiest thing for me to navigate the college websites is I go to this sdccd.edu. I just save that as the homepage on one of my browsers. And then what I do is on the top right here where it says quick links, I drop that down, and the second one from the bottom says Canvas login. So when you click that, it's going to take you to Canvas. And this is where you're logging in to see, let's see if I can minimize that. This is where you're logging in to see your courses. So if I hit log in, I saved my password in there. I think the Canvas login is your birthday. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So if it's your birthday, you should be able to use your birthday, like your month, day, year, along with your student ID number. It says 10 digits, so you might have to add 3 zeros in front of your student ID number if it's not totally 10 digits long, okay? So I'm gonna hit log in, and this is gonna take us to our dashboard. And then we are fall 2020. I'll get a picture in there. I'll get a picture in there here pretty soon so that you guys can identify that really easily. I'm gonna make a note so I don't forget to do that. Picture on Canvas icon. All right. So this is the fall 2020 class. You click on that and it's going to open up your class. Just a quick question. Is there anybody who's new to Canvas? If you can just say yes, that would let me know, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, good. So that means there's probably a few more of you, right? And a few people chatted in. So good. So that means this is going to be a valuable, quick little navigation deal here. So right now we're looking at this from the teacher's view. Let me click on this real quick. So this is what you guys are going to see. You're going to see something like this. So the way we navigate this, I'll start with the menu on the far left. On the far left, if we hit the Miramar College icon, that doesn't do anything for you. If you hit account, you can log out. You can adjust your notification settings. You can adjust your settings to where if I add something or make a change in the class, you're going to get a notification on your phone or get an email. You can change your profile and add a photo of yourself. You can get a QR code for mobile login. And then there's going to be an announcements option. So that's on the account. You can also log out here on the account icon. Canvas has an app for your cell phone, whether you're using Android or Apple. I don't know if there's any other operating systems out there that Canvas will work on, but you're welcome to just type in Canvas in your Play Store or your Apple Store. And it's usually a free download. That app works really well for submitting assignments, messaging me, participating in chats, and so on and so forth. So are there any questions so far?
If you're on a wait list, as I'm on the wait list, I can't access your course through Canvas. How would I get to access your course through Canvas?
Great question. So if any of you are on a wait list or looking to crash the class, you're in the right place. So what I'm going to do tonight at the end of this session, you're going to see everything today. I'm recording the meeting. At the end of the session, I'll take your name and and then what's going to happen is I'm going to contact the people that were no-shows to verify my number of seats. And I'm going to find out if they have an excused absence or if I'm dropping them. So by the first thing in the morning, I will be emailing you an ad code or emailing you telling you there's no room in the class. At this point, things are looking promising for those of you who have logged in and are participating, but I don't want to give you false hope. So I would encourage you to just participate for tonight's session, and by tomorrow morning, I should have an answer for you with either an ad code or I'm sorry, all the seats are full. So
How do you know if you're on a waiting list?
if you're on a wait list, I think you log in. Do they still call the registration site Reg-E?
Yes.
Okay.
Mostly. They've changed it in a weird way.
Okay. Well, I guess to answer your question, the easy way is if you got an email from me with the code for this class, you're either registered for the class or you're on a wait list, with the exception of one student, Jason, right?
Yeah.
Jason, I emailed you personally because we've been having a conversation the last 2 days. So if you got an email from me, you're on the wait list or you're already enrolled in the class. Any other questions? Okay.
Nope.
All right, I'm going to move on. Right here on the dashboard, this is going to show this screen here on the dashboard. You know what? This isn't working because I think I'm in student view. Excuse me 1 minute. So when I click on the dashboard, it's going to show all the classes that I'm currently enrolled in. And then I show unpublished courses. Yours might have a spot for archived courses. So that's the dashboard. So if you're taking multiple classes, this is where you're going to see them. Henry Phillips is asking who else is in the wait list. Henry, I can't give you names, but like I said, if you received an email from me with an invitation to this Zoom meeting, you would be on the wait list or already enrolled in the class.
All right.
So let's see here. So this is where you'll go to my class. When you hit courses, it pretty much is showing you the same thing as the dashboard, but it's giving it to you in a list instead of icons. On the calendar, there's a possibility we're going to be using this because we have, see, all of your assignments show up here. Now, I'm going to be changing the due dates and stuff for these assignments. So this stuff might not be accurate today. But what's going to happen is if you would like some office time with me, it would go on this calendar so that we can schedule it. And we can use this calendar for some other purposes throughout the semester. Depending on how the semester goes, we may use this a lot, we may use it not at all. So in order to see the calendar, you're just going to click the icon here. I will specify in an email or notification where the calendar or whether or not we're using the calendar, or if there's some information on the calendar that you need to see. I do believe that when I get all my due dates set up, you'll be able to see which assignments are due on which dates. And then you should be able to click that assignment and it should be able to link you to that. Okay, so we're working on that as we go. There's an inbox here. You should be able to message me. You should, if you click this icon here, you can create a new message and get that to the, you select the course, UB Fall 2020 blended, you'd be able to send it to me, right? Omar Sevilla, Omar Moreno, you're in there already, right? And then you can type in the subject, and then you can message me straight through Canvas. So sometimes that's easier than messaging me through the school's system, through the school's email system. I encourage you, if you're gonna miss a class, if you're gonna be late, if there's some other issue going on in your life that is affecting your performance in my class, you need to email me. Communication's the key here, right? I can't have mercy on you if you're not communicating with me, but if you're communicating with me, I can, we can make adjustments to due dates. We can do what we need to do so that everybody can be successful and achieve the goals. So any questions on that? Okay, no questions. That's good. So let's go back home. So that's the bar on the far left there. So that's the dashboard courses. So let's get into our course here. When we get into our course, let me put it to student view real quick. Let's see, it's still loading. So when you go into my course, your student view is going to look something like this. So this is home. Home's going to show you modules. See here how it says modules on top? These modules are the things we're going to be focusing on for that week. So we're going to come back to this. This is where we'll finish the night off, is covering these items. Let me show you announcements. This is where I will be making announcements, if any. You could see here that I have an announcement from last semester. It says posted on. Currently seeking a lube tech, so that, I don't see a date on there. But anyhow, that's a post that I made. So see, please email me for more details. So sometimes you'll be seeing notifications like that in announcements. So if you set up those notifications through the app, anytime I put an announcement in there, you'll get a notification on your phone. The advantage of that is if it is a job opening and you're looking for a job, that's kind of cool because then you get first dibs, but also about assignments or changes in the class, things like that. So discussions, this is a feature I use periodically. These discussions are from, let's see here. These look like old discussions from one of my other classes that are popping up. I think I selected the correct class. That's okay. But what you'll do is I'll be including the dates here so you know you're selecting the correct discussion. But sometimes I'll throw some information in the discussion as well as the announcements. Maybe a Zoom meeting invitation, or maybe a piece of information I found that we talked about in one of our Zoom sessions. Grades, this is where you will see your grades. Right, so it'll show your score and it'll show how many points it's worth. So you'll be able to see that. Now here's one of the things that I want to mention, okay? And I'm going to mention it multiple times throughout the year. Unfortunately, Canvas will show you a letter grade. The problem is up here on the top where it shows your total points, it's giving you a letter grade out of the points you attempted, not out of the points that are due. So what that means is you could have 500 points and it might say an A, but 500 out of 1,000 points is actually an F still, right? Because you need to get 600 points would be a D. So this class is going to be out of 1,000 points. So your goal is to achieve 1,000 points by the end of the semester. If you're doing your work weekly like you should, it shouldn't be an issue. So let's see here. Any questions on that?
Is there a way to count attendance for like checking on the Canvas daily? Because I know some online classes have done try to count attendance through online discussion outside of class meeting times.
There's a tool in Canvas where I can look and see when's the last time you logged in and how often you were logged in and for how long. So if I have a student that's a no-show, I'll take a look at that. But what'll happen is when I'm in a Canvas meeting like we are right now, before we leave or go on break, depending on how long we're on, I'm gonna snap a screenshot of all the participants in this meeting. And then that's how I'm taking attendance. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I was trying to see how attendance is measured outside of sessions, and you told me, you said that you can just check student by student when they're logged in and how long.
Yeah, and I mean, if I have a student without activity for the whole week, I'm going to contact that student, and if they're not responding to my communication, I'm probably just going to drop them. So really, the whole thing is you're going to either be active or not, and if you're not active, you will probably get dropped. So, okay. So, any other questions? All right, here it says people. These are the people that are in the course. I don't know if it'll show you all of the other students in the course. I think that if it does, it might give you an option to message other students. Please use this for class purposes only. Don't ask each other out on dates or any other weird stuff like that. We just want to try to keep this as professional as possible. So definitely use these tools as available. We're not going to be working in groups this semester because of the COVID situation, but we will be having 2 groups of students that will be working at separate stations at the same time. So I'm probably going to have a group A and a group B, and we're going to be doing our labs in a socially distanced environment. So you guys won't be working like as partners. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Pages is going to show you pretty much a breakdown of all the stuff in the book. It's going to show you a breakdown. So if you click on one of these things, like let's say chapter 17 lecture outline, right? You'll be able to see what's in, oh, it says it wasn't unlocked yet. It's because I have it unpublished. But if I click that, it would open the lecture outline for chapter 17. So I try to stay true to those lecture outlines, but sometimes I'll steer away from them because my knowledge might go beyond or to a different place. So the lecture outline's a good place though for notes to take a look and see you know, what I'm gonna be talking about or what I did talk about on that last session. So then there's key reviews, images, flashcards. There's a lot of tools in here for your resources, okay? Files is also a place where you're gonna see all the files I have loaded into this program. You see there's a lot of COVID stuff here on the top. Those files are going to be something that you're going to fill out electronically and then get back to me. Here's the syllabus. As I go down this menu, here's the course syllabus. There's a lot of new COVID information in there as well, along with all of the basic information for the class, ISBN number, tech supplies, PPE, so on and so forth, attendance requirements. So I'm going to task you guys with reviewing this syllabus before the next time we meet. The one thing on this syllabus that is not current is the schedule is being updated. Can you guys see the red writing there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because of the COVID situation, I'm mixing this up because there's a bunch of labs we need to do at the first half of the semester, because that's the only time we're going to have access to a certain part of the shop. And then the other part of the shop will have access to most of the semester. So I'm still working out what the lab schedule looks like. If all of our stars align and everybody meets all of their requirements by the end of this week, we should be able to meet in person next week. What that looks like is I'll have Group A meet me at the college on Tuesday. Group B will meet me at the college on Thursday. And then we're going to I'm probably going to pre-record my lectures. And then I'll probably have an office hour each week where I do Q&As about the lecture. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And that schedule is purely because of the situation with COVID. So I enjoy lecturing to my classes in real life and drawing pictures and telling jokes. But this time I'll try to tell jokes, but it probably won't have the same impact as when I'm in front of the classroom. So.
I have a question on the textbook. You put a discount code. Does that work for like the textbook
Yeah,
price or no?
let me find that here. Okay, so on this part where it says text and supplies, I got an email from Ryan Monroe. If you know who that is, he's one of the instructors at the college, and he's in charge of communicating with the publisher for the book that we use. And what he did, he emailed me this note, and I'll read it out loud so everyone can hear it. It says, required is the ISBN number. I'm not going to read the number. Fundamentals of Automotive Technology, 2nd edition bundle. It's an access card to your subscription, plus a task sheet manual. It says below is the call information. They need a coupon code and ISBN they would like to purchase. Below is a coupon code that will allow students to buy the CDX products direct. The coupon code is 2017 DMCDX. Please have students call customer service with their credit card. So if you want to, if our bookstore is out of the book or they don't have the right one or it's too much of a hassle, you're welcome to call that number with your credit card, give them that discount code, and they are supposed to be able to ship you your book as soon as possible. I encourage you to do this tonight because we're going to be dipping in fast with this stuff. The first couple weeks goes really fast, and you're going to miss a lot if you don't have your book. So please call the bookstore first because that's the quickest way to get it. If they don't have it or if it's too expensive, you can try this option as well. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Good name, by the way, Omar. All right, so we are here, we're looking at the syllabus, attendance requirements. There's a number here. I think that if you miss 2 classes in a row, I'm allowed to drop you, and you're allowed to miss 3 classes total, I believe, before you're dropped. The exception is this: some people have health issues, some people have other circumstances that take place. Those are excusable if you're communicating with your instructor. What is not an excuse is, oh, well, I had to work. The expectation is that you signed up for this class. The normal time is from 6 to 10. I think right now the published time is 6:15 to 9:30 or something like that. Your employers, I'm hoping that you can communicate with your employers that you have another obligation after work or before work so that you guys can continue to maintain your schedule at school. The worst thing I hate to see is a student invest all this time in class and then they end up getting dropped because they're unable to meet the obligation. So, all right. So let's see here. Next is, oh, was there another question there? All right. So, so I'm not going to read this to you word for word. My expectation is that you guys read the syllabus, ask questions. I'm going to clean up the schedule here so we have a better idea of what that looks like for the rest of the semester. Below the schedule, I have the points scale. So there's pre-tests, chapter pre-tests, chapter quizzes, chapter final exams, and then the course final exam. For a total of 1,000 points. Now the points are changed here because I miscalculated the points last semester. So I will be adjusting this to so that the points are back at 1,000. And there's a very good possibility that there will be more points available than you need to get a good grade in the class. So that's actually a win in your direction. But I will be making adjustments to this scale as well as the schedule. So any questions on that? All right, I'm gonna move on. Stop me if there's a question. Let's see here. So these are, okay, so then this is the course summary. This kind of breaks down the schedule. A little more. So, and then that's the end of the syllabus. So I'll be updating the rest of that here in the next day or two. So after the syllabus, on your menu here, there's one that says quizzes. The quizzes option will open up the quizzes that are available to you. You see these are 1 point, 20 points, 20 points. It's going to open up all the tests and quizzes that are available. I encourage you to stay on pace with the schedule that's in the syllabus. I know the syllabus isn't update tonight, but the next day or two it will be, and then you'll be able to see where we are and when we're going to be there. There's going to be, I try to align the chapters with what we're doing in the lab so that when you guys come to the lab, you know what you're supposed to be doing, okay? So that's what the quizzes option does, is it puts the tests and quizzes in one place so you can see where they are. I'll be updating the due dates as we go as well. Okay. Modules. This is where you're going to see all of your all of the assignments that are relevant to the course for that period of time. I'm not going to publish all of the modules at the same time. I'm only going to publish the modules that we're working on at any particular given time. So this is a good place to see if there's something in this modules section, that means there's information in there that you need to be completing, okay? Collaborations is not a tool that we use. And then Google Drive, Conference, Zoom, and NetTutor. I'm not using any of those last 4 options for this class. So are there any questions before I move into the COVID lab practices? Everybody can still see my screen okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Please stop me if there's anything, okay, guys? Don't be afraid to interrupt. I want to make sure I'm being as thorough as possible. So I'm going to start here at the general resources. This will probably be here the entire semester. It's a video called Uploading an Assignment or Task Sheet. So when I click on that video, it's going to open it in a new window. And this is a YouTube video that was made by Mr. Monroe. Can you guys see the
Hello,
video?
I am going to.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play it, but what it does is it goes through and he kind of shows you our expectation for how to submit an assignment. So if you're ever unsure of how to submit an assignment, this is the video that demonstrates it for you. He does a good job of explaining how to complete a fillable PDF and submit that fillable PDF so that you can get credit for it, okay? Your homie, Mr. Monroy. You guys kick it? You barbecue or what? Cool. All right. So that's the video there that that's available to you guys so that you can see how to upload an assignment. The next module available to you. See these little arrows right here will shrink the menu or open the menu. Okay. We have safety requirements for OSHA and the ASC Education Alliance. We have to train you guys. Well, you have to be trained in safety. So there's two safety tests. One's called automotive service safety. The other one's called automotive service pollution prevention. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have these open. And I believe there is see, here's the link to get to the SP2 website. I believe there's a video to show you how to create your own account. Let's see if I remember my login. Oh, look, my computer remembered for me. You guys see my screen there?
Yeah.
Once you're logged into SP2, it's going to show you all the tests available to you. I think that for you, you're only going to see these two. So automotive service safety, when I click on that test, it's going to tell me start from the beginning, and then I can go in here and go page by page. There's 19 modules. My recommendation is this. My recommendation is,
Audio.
they changed it up a little bit here. See, I clicked on modules here. Now, if I scroll down, see it says conclusion and final exam. My recommendation is before you go through all 19 modules, most people have what we call common sense, and you can pass a safety test without having to do too much studying. So my recommendation would be click the conclusion and final exam.
I wish my teacher from yesterday told me that.
What's that?
That just to take a test with common sense.
Oh, look, you must complete all of the quizzes before you can take the final exam. They changed it. No more shortcut, guys. Sorry. All right. So
Good thing I finished it all yesterday and today.
Common sense isn't as common as most people would think.
Yeah.
That's a rep for us. I haven't completed it.
Yeah. So, all right. So it looks like you guys are there's no more shortcut. So you'll have to just go through the 19 modules. I'm sorry I lied to you.
Well, 19 plus a 12, I think that's a little more.
The other one's 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. So most of the stuff is common sense, how to use tools, how to handle automotive waste, things like that. It's not a bad idea to review the stuff anyways, but please, at the end of this, you're going to be able to see this icon here says certificates. All certificates. It says no certificates have been earned. What account am I in here? I don't know. They either reset my account or my certificates. I have other accounts because I'm a teacher and I teach at multiple schools. So in this option here, it would show you a list of your certificates. Your certificates have to have a valid date that goes through the entire semester. So what you're going to be doing is uploading a copy of your certificate into Canvas. So see here where it says submit assignment. You would hit submit assignment. You would choose your file, and then you would find your file. I don't have any good files here. So via instructional video. And then I could submit my file here. And then the one I just submitted was a movie. It's not a file, but you guys will be submitting a PDF copy of your certificate. So, of course, I did a video, so it'll take an extra minute here. That's how we're submitting assignments, guys. Any questions on that?
Yeah, I have a question.
We need
Okay.
to take. Oh, sorry. Go first.
Go ahead,
Hunter.
Henry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say we need to finish this by Monday at 11:59. Then is that what the date is? I think I might have misheard.
Yeah. My goal is for us to be done with the stuff that's on the modules page, and I'll show you again here in a minute, by the end of the week. Okay, so no pressure, but if everybody's done by the end of the week with all this stuff, we're going to be in the lab by Tuesday. But all of the classes have to be done with this. So I don't want my class, my students, to be the ones that are holding everybody up, right? So I'm going to give you guys time, and I'm going to make sure that I'm working with you to do whatever we can to get this done. So let's see. I'm going to cancel that.
So how do I upload my certificates to send it to you? Because I finished them today.
Just like this, like I just showed you. So if we go back to modules, right? So here you are. Let's say, what did you get, the automotive service pollution prevention certificate today?
No, I finished both of the SP2s.
Yeah, so what the name of the SP2 test is automotive service safety, and there's a second one called automotive service pollution prevention. Are those the ones that you did?
Yeah, automotive service pollution prevention. Yeah, I completed it.
Okay, so can you see my screen right now?
Yes.
Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna click here, automotive service pollution prevention. You're gonna click on that. Now you should have saved your certificate like on your desktop or in a special folder where you're gonna save all your work for this class. Okay, so here on top it says automotive service pollution prevention, due by Monday, 11:59 p.m. Okay, because Tuesday's the day we're gonna be in the lab, right? In theory. It's worth 25 points. It's gonna be a file upload. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna click right here, submit assignment, okay? And then when you scroll down, see it says, please complete a SP2 automotive service pollution prevention conclusion and final exam. Upload a PDF copy of your certificate when you are done. So what you'll do is you scroll down here, see it says file upload.
Okay. I found out how to make a picture of the certificate. That's what I was wondering how to do.
So a picture is fine. I would prefer a PDF. So let's see if I can go to. See if I can find a PDF here real quick. Here's a Word document, right? So I would just select the Word document and then it'll upload it. Yeah, yeah, you can save it as a PDF from Microsoft Word. So if you only have it as a Word document, you can save it as a PDF. All of the labs that you guys are going to be doing will be already converted into a PDF for you, okay? So then once you have that file, once the title of that file is in this gray box here, you can just go down and hit Submit Assignment. Okay, and then that should go right into your, see, it's a little celebration. And now once it does that, I can see your assignment turned in on my gradebook. So then what I do is I go on my side, I make sure that your name is on that document, meaning that you completed it. And then I punch in your points.
Okay.
Okay. So anybody else have questions on how to submit an assignment?
I have a question on the SP2.
Yes, sir.
So let's say we're in another automotive class and we complete and we get the certificate for the SP2. Can we use that for your class, or are they different?
No, the SP2, so the title of the SP2 is what matters, and the valid certificate, right? So, so right here, automotive service safety and automotive service pollution prevention. Those titles will be on your certificate. So if you took somebody else's class at Miramar and you have an SP2 certificate that goes to the end of December, you're going to be fine. You can submit the same file. Does that answer your question?
Kind of, but it's because I'm actually in the class right now, like in another classroom. On Monday I have it, Mondays and Wednesdays, and I have you Tuesdays and Thursdays.
What class are
don't
you
know.
in on Monday and Wednesday?
It's I think 61 but it's with Professor Kennedy.
Yeah, so if you're doing
Yeah,
the
I have the same
SP2,
class too.
yeah, if you're doing the SP2 for that class, you're just going to upload the same certificate on a My Canvas class.
All right,
Right.
thank you.
So you're going to give Kennedy's going to get a copy on his electronic classroom, and I'm going to get a copy in my electronic classroom. You're only going to do each test one time.
Okay.
SP2 is provided by the school, guys. So there's no extra cost for that. For those of you who were wondering about that. Okay. So, so what I'm going to do is, I was told there's an SP2 video. I'm going to try to submit that before the end of the night. And then if that video doesn't give you the information you need, I'm going to email you with instructions of how to log into SP2. So it's as simple as just building an account for yourself, or I build you an account and get you signed up. So, okay. So we'll get going on that in a minute, and we're going to have time on Thursday to really nail down these safety requirements. The last thing in the safety requirements thing is this COVID shop access video. So I'm going to play the video for you guys. It's just a couple minutes long. And this video is an example of the procedure that you're going to follow when you're entering the automotive facility. Okay, there's one entrance, there's one exit. This video is how it's the only way we're allowed to have this is if you're following these rules on this video. So can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
All right. right, so that's the video for entering campus. So that back door there is is an entrance that normally gets used anyways. I think all of the other entrances will be closed. The other thing is face masks. There's going to be people watching the parking lot to make sure that you're wearing a face mask when you leave your car. So if that's going to be a challenge for you, we need to have a personal discussion about that. Otherwise, everybody who's following those rules, we should be in good shape. So any questions about accessing the shop?
Someone says that the SP2 does not have their SP2 does not have the pollution course on it. So I know it's not relevant, but I wasn't sure if you saw it.
Yeah, so it is relevant because that's one of the courses you need to complete. What will happen is I can log in as an admin and add that course for you if you don't have it.
I have a question about like where we'll meet. So is it gonna be at the main entrance or is it gonna be like in a specific like class lab structure
So
like building?
you're gonna enter where the video just showed you. You're gonna enter the building there, and I'm gonna have 8 stations set up. So on the day that you're coming, I will have a description of how to get to your station. We're only going to have 20 to 30 minutes per station as we rotate students through. And you're going to have to wear gloves and a face mask and your safety glasses. And we're going to rotate you through the stations. And then at 9:15, we're going to clean up and we're going to head home. I mean, it's going to be very orchestrated, right? So on the day that you're coming to the lab, you're going to know exactly where you're going and for how long you're going to be there and when you're going to rotate stations.
Okay, all right.
All right. Very good. So that's the safety requirements. So what I'll do is at the end of this session, I'm going to talk to the students who need to add the class, right? I'm also going to, if you do not have an SP2 account, I want you to stay on and I'm going to get SP2 accounts for you guys, okay?
I think with our student login, the account should be made because that's what happened to me yesterday.
SP2?
Yeah, I started doing them yesterday.
Right, but your teacher probably made the account for you.
No. Like when I logged into the SB2 website, it showed me to create an account, and it like through the Canvas like information with my student ID and everything, it filled out by itself.
Okay, so they may have changed that since over the summer. If that's the case, that'll be much easier for me. What I'm going to do is I will find out here in a minute after we're done with the rest of the session. Patrick says he didn't have that option, so I think that for some students, I might have to create the account for them. I got somebody with a little background noise there. If you guys are in a noisy environment, if you don't mind muting your microphone there, I appreciate it. So safety requirements, we'll get back to getting everyone their account. At the end of this session, I'm going to remind everybody one more time what we're doing. If you're good on everything, you'll be welcome to leave. And then if you need to complete either adding the course or getting your SP2 account set up, you'll stay on, and then I'll work with each of you one at a time, okay? It'll just take a little bit of patience. Let's see here. So this is a COVID-19 safe lab practices. I don't want to overwhelm you, but these are the things that we need to do before the end of the week. So I'm not going to be on here the entire night talking. I've given myself until 8 o'clock, but what I am going to do is I'm going to just quickly review each document with you and explain to you the policy or procedure to get these documents submitted to me. This first one here is the fact sheet for COVID-19. What you should know about COVID. So, you guys still see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a virus that can spread from person to person. The virus that causes COVID is a new coronavirus that is spread throughout the world. The symptoms can range from mild or no symptoms to having a severe illness. You can become infected by coming into close contact about 6 feet or 2 arms length with a person who has COVID-19, and it's primarily spread from person to person. You can become infected from respiratory droplets when an infected person coughs, sneezes, or talks. Everybody's been around somebody else who talks and they spit a little bit when they talk. Everybody does that. You just can't always see it. So that's why we wear our mask. We don't want to be spitting on each other. The third bullet point there says you may also be able to get it by touching a surface or object that has the virus on it, and then by touching your mouth, nose, or eyes. So this is why we're wearing gloves. When you're wearing gloves and a face mask, you don't want to be touching your eyes, nose, or mouth. And you should be constantly washing your hands, constantly using hand sanitizer in this current state of affairs that we're in. It says protect yourself and others from COVID-19. There's currently no vaccine to protect against COVID-19. The best way to protect yourself is to avoid being exposed to the virus that causes COVID-19. Stay home as much as possible and avoid close contact with others. Wear a cloth face covering that covers your nose and mouth in public settings. Clean and disinfect frequently touched surfaces. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. Practice social distancing. Buy groceries and medicine. Go to the doctor and complete banking activities online when possible. Guys, in my house, we just order everything now. We don't go to the store anymore. I've always done my banking online, and it's not that we're afraid, but my wife and I have friends in the medical field, and it's a real thing. Their hospitals are being overwhelmed with people with the coronavirus illness, and we don't want to be part of the problem. We want to be part of the solution. So if you have the means and ability to buy groceries online, it's actually been really good for us, because now we're not arguing about who gets to go to the grocery store. It's just, well, my wife still does the online ordering, and then I check the order, but she's really doing the shopping. But if you save your cart, you can just order the same stuff every week and have a little menu. It's a lot easier. So I don't know. That's one of the pros in my house about this whole thing. Next bullet point. What's that?
You don't deal with the Karens, Omar?
With the Karens? Yeah, right. There's always one or two of those floating around somewhere. Let's see here. So if you must go in person, stay 6 feet away from others and disinfect items you must touch. Get deliveries and takeout and limit in-person contact as much as possible. Let's see what else we got here. Prevent the spread of COVID-19 if you are sick. If you have any symptoms, guys, just stay home. It's not worth it. Communicate with me. We'll completely make an exception, considering it's a relevant excuse. Is to stay home if you're sick, except to get medical care. Avoid public transportation, ride sharing, or taxis. This is if you're showing symptoms. Separate yourself from other people and pets in your home. There is no specific treatment for COVID, but you can seek medical care to help relieve the symptoms. If you need medical attention, call ahead, okay? So if you are having symptoms, coughing, respiratory, you're having a hard time breathing, you have a fever, there's a good chance you have COVID, stay home, rest, drink fluids, and then maybe contact your physician so that they can give you the appropriate action necessary to relieve your symptoms. Know your risk for severe illness. Everyone is at risk of getting COVID-19. Older adults and people of any age who have serious underlying medical conditions may be at higher risk for more severe illness. So for those of you who may live with parents or grandparents or visit parents or grandparents on a regular basis, they're the ones most likely to have symptoms from this virus. So I would take extra caution if you're one of the people who's around more fragile individuals. At my house, I have 3 kids that go to 3 different schools. My wife is in the medical field, but her office is in a school. I work at 2 schools. So just in my house, if one of us gets it, we can affect 6 to 7 different schools if we're not using all of these precautions. So you got to think of it kind of like that. So, you know, I know that right now there's a lot of downplaying the virus on social media. I don't think you need to be afraid of it. I just think you need to be proactive. And I think that I know that it's real. And you know, if you take the politics out of it, it's something that we can all overcome and turn the page on sooner rather than later if we're all playing by the same rules. So, any questions on that lab resources fact sheet?
Get points for reading them all.
I'm not going to read point by point, but I wanted to hit on that one.
No,
So
I'm saying like if we do it individually, like do we get points for reading it all or no?
for the COVID thing. So the COVID thing is a requirement for us to work on campus. So we're all going to have to read all of this. I mean, I could read it to you guys one at a time if you want, but I don't think that's very useful.
No. What I meant, like, do we get a point? Like, you know how we get to 1,000 points?
No, I might give you like 1 point just so that I can document that you submitted your contract or whatever. But it's not going to be worth any like major points. It might be worth 1 point per document you're supposed to turn in. So yes, I guess to answer your question, but it won't be really relevant to the overall points in the class. And I know it's kind of a lot to read, guys, but this is just the world we're in at this point in time. So everyone's participation is appreciated. And here's the thing, if you're taking other auto classes, all of your teachers are going to be giving you this exact same document. So you're only going to have to read it once. You don't have to read it for every class, okay? So this is talking about cleaning and disinfecting, covering your face when you cough and sneeze, cover your mouth and nose when you're around others, okay? And then avoid close contact. So, you know, the 6-foot rule is a pretty good rule. I just try to stand across the room from people whenever possible. I wash my hands the minute I get home. The minute I get in the car, I use hand sanitizer. So that's just kind of how I'm doing it. I keep hand sanitizer in my car just to help prevent the spread, okay? So that's the second sheet. Please review these in a little more detail on your own time. If you're sick, what do you do? So this worksheet here, worksheet number 3, kind of gives you some information about what to do if you have symptoms. There's a website here that talks about, this is the CDC, it's the Center for Disease Control. This is COVID-19 animals, how are animals affected and how can animals spread the virus, and so on and so forth. And then a lot of it is repeat information, right? But I'm obligated to show you guys this stuff here. Resource number 4, service and reception delivery process. So this is the part where Toyota kind of helped us get these guidelines together. So this is what Toyota is doing to prevent the spread of COVID in their customers' cars. So you guys at the college will not be moving cars. You won't be working on your own cars. We're going to be setting up the labs for you, and we have assigned people to move the cars. But this is Toyota's procedure to prevent the spread of the disease, and we'll be sharing this because some of you are working in the industry, or some of you will be working in the industry. This is going to be relevant information for you. Okay, so these are all the different disinfectant products. It talks about the touch points. 2 pages ago, it showed a picture with all the touch points. I rent out, I have travel trailers that I rent out as a side business. Every single surface gets wiped down with disinfectant. In fact, I picked one up just before this class, and I wiped the walls. I wiped down all the knobs and handles. Anywhere that customer may have touched the trailer, I wipe it off with this. I spray and wipe it with disinfectant. Okay, so that's kind of the world we're in today. Use protective covers, remove garbage from the vehicle, so on and so forth. So I encourage you to read this, because if you are looking at going in the industry, these are the procedures that you're going to need to know if you want to be working in a car dealership. So this is Toyota's protocol. All of the other car manufacturers will have their own protocol as well. So any questions on that document? I know this stuff is super exciting, guys. Thank you for being patient. All right, no question. You guys could just, right? You guys can shoot me a message on the chat if you have a question or if there's another issue there. So here's the participant screening questionnaire. So this, I believe, is the one you're going to be filling out when you come to campus each time. So when you come to school, they're going to check your temperature. And they have to answer this question, measure temperature and record. If your temperature is 99.5 or higher, they're going to send you home. They might send you to an air-conditioned room to cool off and relax, and then check your temperature again in 10 minutes. But if it's 99.5 2 times in a row, they're going to send you home, okay? This says 100.4. That's the Center for Disease Control number. The college has come up with the number 99.5. So those are the rules that we're going to be under. Do you have a new cough? Do you have a recent new onset shortness of breath? Do you have a recent or new onset of diarrhea and fever? Do you have chills or repeated shaking with chills? Do you have muscle aches that you cannot attribute to another health condition or that may have been caused by specific activity? Do you have chills, a headache? Do you have a sore throat? Do you have a new recent loss of taste or smell? Within the last 14 days, have you had close contact without the use of appropriate PPE with someone who is currently sick with suspected or confirmed COVID-19? Answer yes to any of these questions. Do not allow entry into the lab. They must seek medical attention. Student may return the following an evaluation by healthcare provider. If the lab participant answers no, allow entry and educate the patient. If you start having any symptoms at any time, or if you're exposed to a quarantined individual or an individual who's positive, you must seek medical advice. Do not come to the lab. Okay? So those are the rules, guys. So this is what you're going to be doing at the beginning of each class. The lab tech's going to be helping us get that done. Any questions on that? All right, no questions. So let's see what's next here. This is the lab process acknowledgement. So there's going to be the pre-screening questionnaire. That's the one I just read to you. You're going to initial that. So that's here. So you're going to put your name. So we're going to check your temperature. You're going to answer that questionnaire. You're going to initial here. Then prohibited personal items. You're not allowed to bring cell phones, computers, jewelry, coffee mugs, water bottles, and lunch boxes. It's just the situation we're in right now. So you're going to be coming with yourself, your face mask, your safety glasses, and your appropriate shop clothing, closed-toed shoes, long pants. When you get there, you're going to check out a laptop. The laptops will be sanitized after each use, and then you're going to go to your station and start working. Like I said, the intention is for each student to have an assignment before class starts so they know exactly where to go.
Should we bring our own safety gloves too and our textbook or no?
Yes, you'll need gloves. You will not need to bring your book because your book is what they call a workbook manual or a lab manual. So the advantage of having the book is that you can see the pages and pre-fill them out and then upload them in a place where you can see them from the school's computer. So there's going to be some lab sheets that you can pre-fill or whatever on a hard copy, but you're not going to be able to turn in the paper. So you're going to have to fill it out electronically and submit it to me anyways. So the lab book you're going to need anyways for when we do get back to campus. That's how you're going to be submitting assignments.
Okay.
So you won't be bringing phones, backpacks, your own computers, none of that stuff. You'll need safety glasses, a CDC approved face mask, single-use disposable gloves, and then you're going to have to wear that PPE the entire time, and you'll initial the box here. COVID-19 safe practices training is required. Participants will complete training on safe practices prior to beginning lab exercises. Participant acknowledges and consents to training. So you'll initial that box. That's what we're doing right now is the safe practices training. That's what this session is all about, guys. Social distancing.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
When you said no cell phones, what if I have to like Uber or Lyft there because my car's not done right now? I mean, I might have it done by that time, but if it's not, I'll probably have to, use some type of service to get over there. If I can't bring my phone, I mean, is there someplace I can put it or?
I don't think anyone's going to know that you have your phone if you keep it in your pocket.
Okay.
I have a similar question like that. I actually need to wear hearing aids.
Okay, so hearing aids is obviously an accommodation, right?
Yes, but I need my phone to control those hearing aids.
So like I said, if your phone's in your pocket and not being used as a communication device, it's in your pocket for storage for later use, I don't think anybody's going to say anything. But
so
if
don't
you're,
be rude.
So the issue is this: if you have your phone and you set it on a toolbox, or you set it on the seat of the car, or you set it on the counter or somewhere else where you could potentially spread the COVID, that's the issue, right? So I would say this: if your phone is in your pocket, I don't think anybody's going to have anything to say about that.
Okay.
Okay. Cell phones, laptops, computers, jewelry, coffee mugs are prohibited. So I would put that thing on silent. I would keep it in my pocket. I'm not telling you to cheat. I'm just telling you if it comes out of your pocket, there's a good chance you're going to be sent home. Make sense?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. All right. Next thing here. So this is a safe practices training. Social distancing, 6-foot rule, right? So we don't want to see you guys playing patty cake or thumb wrestling or anything like that, okay? So we want 6-foot rule, work alone on one vehicle or one station at a time, and then you're going to go ahead and initial that box. Hygiene techniques are the participant's responsibility. Wear approved PPE. Hand washing is required upon entry into the training facility, before and after using the restroom, before and after wearing single-use disposable gloves, and before departing the training facility. Remove and dispose of single-use gloves without touching the outside of the gloves. Hand sanitizer shall be used when hands are not visibly dirty. Wash all clothing, including face masks, daily. Stations will be wiped down by the participants before and after each use. Participant acknowledges and consents to maintaining hygiene techniques. And then participating acknowledges the risk of contracting COVID in this setting and attends voluntarily. So you guys are going to be signing this after you've checked all of those boxes, or after you've initialed all of those boxes. Any questions on that? This is the acknowledgement, right? That you've received the training and you understand the rules about all this. Questions?
Does this need to be completed beforehand, or?
This is what I'm asking to be completed. Realistically, Thursday. So here's the deal. Thursday, I have an obligation. I'm going to be at my uncle's funeral Thursday. I will probably not be available to get online until about 8 p.m. So what's going to happen is, and this is my prediction, is about 8 p.m. I'm gonna have a session at 8 p.m. for Zoom, and that session will be reserved for students that have not been able to complete this stuff yet, so who might need my assistance. So I'll be on Zoom. You log in with me, and then I can walk you through this as needed. And then I'll be available for any other issues as well. So the SP2 safety stuff and all of this COVID stuff will be due by the end of this week. This is the main focus for this week. And then Thursday at 8 p.m., I'm going to log back in. If everybody's got this stuff turned in, I can start my lecture at 8 p.m. on Thursday. That's kind of the plan. Is that good for everybody?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I figured that'll give you a couple hours of, independent work time so that, we can accommodate each other there instead of me having a class at 6 and trying to rush home from Los Angeles. So, okay, cool. It looks good
for the traffic order.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite the day for me, but that's what it is, right? All right, let's look at this next document. I think there's 14 documents in this training. So, workstation cleaning checklist. So this is the checklist of cleaning your workstation. These are the areas that need to be cleaned. So this goes in conjunction with that Toyota document, right? So we should be doing most of our stuff under the hood. A lot of the first few assignments are going to require you to start the engine, turn the key in and out of the car. So you're going to be wiping the interior door handles, the exterior door handles, the key, the steering wheel, the seats, the armrests, all that stuff. So that's kind of the new procedure. So this is stuff in reality. I used to do this anyways when I worked in the field. When I was done working on a car, I had a special chemical called Total Clean. I would spray the steering wheel, anything I touched, and then any exterior fingerprints, I wiped it off. I tried to never send a customer's car away with any of my fingerprints. So if you guys think of it as a customer satisfaction instead of a COVID thing, it might be pretty helpful. Customers don't want to spend money with you unless they feel comfortable bringing the car back. And if there's fingerprints, are they going to feel comfortable bringing the car back?
No.
Not at all. All right.
They're probably going to chew you out, actually.
Yeah, or just never spend money with you again, right? I want people to spend money with me. So. All right. So. Excuse me one sec here.
I submitted the SP2s already, so I just need to do the COVID.
Say that one more time.
I submitted the SP2s already.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, so I'll be able to see that, and then we can reconvene on that. And then if you haven't submitted the stuff, I'm going to be contacting you personally. So please try and get it done ASAP. Okay. So that's the procedure for the workstation cleaning checklist. This is another questionnaire. I'm not sure which one they're going to be using on that day. That's pretty much the same one we saw earlier. Okay, so whichever one they're bringing you that day, you're going to need to complete it and sign it and turn it in to whoever the lab tech is who's checking you in. Okay. Any questions on that? All right. So what I would do, guys, is I'm going to have, you guys should be able to pre-fill these and submit them here on Canvas. So I have a copy of it. That's the expectation. That's the expectation. So you'll need to just kind of, again, pre-screening, right? So there's some of these are duplicates, but that's okay. Everybody's really nervous about losing this opportunity. All the instructors and all of the deans, they want to make sure we do this right, guys. So if you're thorough, it's going to protect all of us so that we can get through this semester and learn as much as possible. So here is another presentation. This is the Toyota presentation about coronavirus. So you'll need to review this on your own time. A lot of this is talking about how Toyota is conducting their classes. The model that we're using right now is the model that Toyota is going to be, that Toyota has put in place already, okay? So see, lab time is 4 to 8 hours for 2 meetings per week. They're doing 2-person teams. We're not doing teams. Okay, so there's not going to be any of that. So that was the before. So anyways, you guys will have a time to review that. Please do review it, because at the end of this, there is a quiz. You see that? Take the quiz, 23 questions. So you review all that material, then you're going to have to take this quiz. All right? There's 23 questions. Most common symptoms. What are the warning signs? How's COVID spread? What is the most effective way? Practice social distancing. What is the purpose of wearing a face mask? Okay, so you guys see there's a quiz at the end. And then you'll submit that quiz. So you're going to have to type in your answers there. Any questions?
Can we take the quiz multiple times in case like we failed like a number of questions or not?
Well, I would say this. If you review each document and you spend, if you spend an hour reviewing each document, it's going to take you 10 to 15 minutes to do the test. If you spend an hour trying to guess the right answers, it's kind of a waste of time. You know what I mean? So I think you're going to have 2 attempts at the test before I have to reset it. Really, at the end of the day, do your best to pass the test. Right here, see the little rocket? Let's see. The little rocket here is the quiz. And then there's this one here as well. Overall system basics. This one's worth 11 points, okay? So those points are gonna go into my grade book, guys. So yeah, you'll get a few points for that. So you gotta complete that, correct usage of chemicals, service reception delivery process. So let's look at these real quick. These bottom documents I didn't get a chance to review yet, so we're gonna see them together. Oh, look, my computer won't open that one. That's an issue with my computer I've been working on. All right, so my computer's not going to allow me to open that document. Let's try the next one here. Yeah, it's not allowing any of that. So lab process assessment is another quiz worth 10 points. And then here's a video, a 10-minute video you'll need to watch. You guys see how I'm hitting the next button here?
Yeah.
Okay, so that next button is going to take you to the next thing in the module. So if you're going step by step and hitting
Hello
the next
everyone,
button,
Dr.
you're
Robert
going to be
here.
able to
As you know, we are going
get
back to
all
level
of
2.
you're not going to miss anything. You're going to get every single piece of information that you're intended to get. So we'll watch this video real quick as a class. It's only 3 minutes because I want to make sure we're all wearing our masks properly so that we're not spreading this thing or contracting it. Here we go.
Hello everyone, Dr. Robert here. As you know, we are going back to level 2 restrictions as of Monday. I know that many of you are concerned because of a lack of N95 masks. As I'm sure many of you have already read on the Australian Dental Association website, the normal level 2 surgical masks that we use are 95% effective against viral particles. But unfortunately, their effectiveness drops to 56% if the mask is loosely fitted or if it has basically gaps on the sides of the mask when we put the mask on. Now, I would like to show you a way to make your normal level 2 surgical masks fit a lot better so that both you and your patients are better protected. What you need to do is you need to fold your normal surgical mask like so in half. Make sure it's edge to edge, and then with the elastic on each side, make a little knot. Just make sure that your mask is edge to edge, and when you make the knot, you make the little knot as close as possible to the actual mask. It's very important that the knot is nice and close to the end of the mask. Okay, do the same on the other side, making sure that the mask is edge to edge. And when you tie the knot, you make sure that it's all the way to the end, nice and close. As you can see, both sides. Now, open your mask and adapt the nose part over your nose. That's good. Now you need to fold in the corners just like so. Make sure that it's fully in so that you have this effect. Okay, and do the same thing on the other side. This actually doesn't take long after you do it a few times. I'm just doing it a bit slower because I'm showing you. Okay, so that's done. That's the effect you're aiming to achieve. Then you put the mask over your nose, adapting it well. Make sure that you seat the mask nicely and extend it under your chin. And if you have a look, you'll see that you don't have a big gap. Once you put the mask on, you have achieved a better seal with not much gap. See, if I actually blow air on this mask, you'll see, okay, you can see it inflating and deflating, which means that the seal is a lot better than it was. I hope this helps. Take care and stay safe. Thank you.
All right, can you guys still hear me?
Yep.
Good deal.
Yeah.
All right, so that was one of the tips about wearing a mask. Those disposable masks is something I've become a fan of because when I'm delivering my trailer or doing work in my trailer or dealing with customers, it's real easy to just grab one of those out of the package and put it on. I don't have to worry about doing the extra laundry or losing it or whatever. I just have a box in each car, a box in the house, and you know, you could get a box of 50 for, I think I saw them on Amazon last night for $17 or $18 for a box of 50. And, if you're using 1 or 2 a day, that should last you close to a month. So it's a small investment for the protection of others. I know as a college student, $20 isn't always the $20 for masks isn't the priority, but in this current scenario, you're going to need to have some sort of mask on. So please take that into consideration. Having those disposables, they're really, for me, they make the most sense. So that's just my testimonial. All right, next thing here is there's another video, I believe. Let's see here. Cleaning and disinfecting community spaces. So this is the one about cleaning your workstation.
Protecting you and your workplace against the coronavirus.
Let's see.
Also known.
You guys can see that and hear that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
As COVID-19 starts with getting the right information. The intent of this course is to provide you with practical guidance from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, for cleaning and disinfecting rooms or areas where those with confirmed COVID-19 have visited. There is much to learn about COVID-19. Based on what is currently known about the virus, spread from person to person happens most frequently among close contacts within about 6 feet. This type of transmission occurs via respiratory droplets. Transmission of the coronavirus to persons from surfaces contaminated with the virus has not been documented at the time this course was published. However, current evidence suggests that the coronavirus may remain viable for hours to days on surfaces made from a variety of materials. Transmission of coronavirus in general occurs much more commonly through respiratory droplets than through objects or materials which are likely to carry infection, such as clothes, utensils, and furniture. Cleaning of visibly dirty surfaces followed by disinfection is a best practice measure for prevention of COVID-19 and other viral respiratory illnesses in community settings. These guidelines are focused on community, non-healthcare facilities such as businesses, offices, schools, institutions of higher education, daycare centers, and community centers that do not house persons overnight. These guidelines are not meant for households or cleaning staff in healthcare facilities or repatriation sites, or for others where specific guidance already exists. Any supporting documents referenced throughout this course can be found in the resources section of this course. By the end of this course, you will be able to identify the differences between cleaning and disinfection, identify best practices for cleaning and disinfecting, identify PPE and hand hygiene best practices. Community facilities, such as businesses, schools, and daycare centers, comprise most non-healthcare settings that are visited by the general public outside of a household. Cleaning refers to the removal of dirt and impurities, including germs, from surfaces. Cleaning alone does not kill germs, but by removing germs, it decreases their number and therefore any risk of spreading infection. Disinfecting works by using chemicals to kill germs on surfaces. This process does not necessarily clean dirty surfaces or remove germs, but killing germs remaining on a surface after cleaning further reduces any risk of spreading infection. It is recommended to close off areas used by ill persons and wait as long as practical before beginning cleaning and disinfection to minimize potential for exposure to respiratory droplets. Open outside doors and windows to increase air circulation in the area. If possible, wait up to 24 hours before beginning cleaning and disinfection. Cleaning staff should clean and disinfect all areas, such as offices, bathrooms, and common areas, used by the ill persons, focusing especially on frequently touched surfaces. If surfaces are dirty, they should be cleaned using a detergent or soap and water prior to disinfection. For disinfection, diluted household bleach solutions, alcohol solutions with at least 70% alcohol, and most common EPA-registered household disinfectants should be effective. Diluted household bleach solutions can be used if appropriate for the surface. Follow the manufacturer's instructions for application and proper ventilation. Check to ensure the product is not past its expiration date. Never mix household bleach with ammonia or any other cleanser. Unexpired household bleach will be effective against coronaviruses when properly diluted. Bleach solutions can be prepared by mixing 5 tablespoons or 1/3 cup of bleach per gallon of water or 4 teaspoons bleach per quart of water. Products with EPA-approved emerging viral pathogens are expected to be effective against COVID-19 based on data for harder-to-kill viruses. Follow the manufacturer's instructions for all cleaning and disinfection products, such as concentration, application method, and contact time, etc. For soft, porous surfaces, such as carpeted floor, rugs, and drapes, remove visible contamination if present and clean with the appropriate cleaners indicated for use on these surfaces. If the items can be laundered, launder items in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions using the warmest appropriate water setting for the items and then dry items completely. Dirty laundry that has been in contact with an ill person can be washed with other people's items. Do not shake dirty laundry. This minimizes the possibility of dispersing virus through the air. Remember to clean and disinfect hampers or other carts for transporting laundry. Cleaning staff should wear disposable gloves and gowns for all tasks in the cleaning process, including handling trash. Gloves and gowns should be compatible with the disinfectant products being used. Additional PPE might be required based on the cleaning, disinfectant products being used and whether there is a risk of splash. Gloves and gowns should be removed carefully to avoid contamination of the wearer and the surrounding area. Gloves should be removed after cleaning a room or area occupied by ill persons. Clean hands immediately after gloves are removed. Cleaning staff should immediately report breaches in PPE, such as tears in gloves, or any potential exposures to their supervisor. Cleaning staff and others should clean hands often, including immediately after removing gloves and after contact with an ill person by washing hands with soap and water for 20 seconds. If soap and water are not available and hands are not visibly dirty, an alcohol-based hand sanitizer that contains 60 to 95% alcohol may be used. However, if hands are visibly dirty, always wash hands with soap and water. Follow normal preventive actions while at work and home, including cleaning hands and avoiding touching eyes, nose, or mouth with unwashed hands. Additional key times to clean hands include after blowing one's nose, coughing or sneezing, after using the restroom, before eating or preparing food, after contact with animals or pets, before and after providing routine care for another person who needs assistance, such as a child. Employers should work with their local and state health departments to ensure appropriate local protocols and guidelines, such as updated additional guidance for cleaning and disinfection, are followed, including identification of new potential cases of COVID-19. Employers should educate staff and workers performing cleaning, laundry, and trash pickup activities to recognize the symptoms of COVID-19 and provide instructions on what to do if they develop symptoms within 14 days after their last possible exposure to the virus. At a minimum, any staff should immediately notify their supervisor and the local health department if they develop symptoms of COVID-19. The health department will provide guidance on what actions need to be taken. When working with your local health department, check their available hours. Employers should develop policies for worker protection and provide training to all cleaning staff on site prior to providing cleaning tasks. Training should include when to use PPE, what PPE is necessary, how to properly put it on, use, and take off PPE, and how to properly dispose of PPE. Employers must ensure workers are trained on the hazards of cleaning chemicals used in the workplace in accordance with OSHA's Hazard Communication Standard. Employers must comply with OSHA's standards on bloodborne pathogens, including proper disposal of regulated waste and PPE. The coronavirus should be taken seriously. By ensuring that you understand actions you should take to clean and disinfect locations of those with suspected or confirmed COVID-19 have visited, you are taking actions to keep you, your household, and your workplace safe.
All right. So watching that video, you can see why it's so important not to come into campus when you're showing symptoms, because every room you step foot in has to be disinfected at that level. And honestly, the college doesn't have the manpower to make that happen if a couple of people come into the campus with symptoms. Were there any questions on the video?
No.
I don't think so.
All right. I mean, most of the stuff I imagine is pretty much the same stuff we've all been doing since March. So this is the COVID Student Agreement Advanced Transportation Technology. So this is the document that won't download, of course. There's the preview. So this is the agreement. So it says, after you pass those quizzes, you're going to need to complete this assignment. You'll probably have to sign it. You have to print it and sign it and then submit an image of it, unless you have an app that can do a digital signature and put your name down on that signature line. Here's what the agreement says. Below are details and instructions to comply with the COVID-19 required procedures set forth by the Advanced Transportation Technology Program for student return to campus. These instructions are based on understanding COVID-19 risks, Advanced Transportation Technology Program Compliance Plan, COVID-19 student and staff health questionnaire, pre and post-class health screening. To enter the Advanced Transportation Technology area, students and staff alike must comply with all safety directions, including wearing a facial covering, maintaining at least 6 feet of separation, and limiting grouping no more than 10, including instructor, skill coaches, or instructional lab technicians. Entry to any other building or facility is prohibited. Anyone wanting to access the Advanced Transportation Technology classroom must first be screened at the point of entry. And that's the video I showed you guys entering the building. You will be required to follow these steps every day you attend class for in-person instruction. Park in the designated area indicating in the invitation and notification. When parking, leave one empty parking spot next to your vehicle on either side. Wear a face covering upon exiting your vehicle and maintain 6 foot separation distance approaching the facility. And then never gather in groups of 10 or more. And then number 2, approach the Advanced Transportation Technology Facility gate access door, maintaining 6 feet of separation and grouping restrictions stated above. You must successfully pass the daily screening process before accessing the classrooms or training areas. Your temperature will be taken. If your temperature is 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit or greater, you will not be permitted to participate in person. If you are running from your car because you didn't want to be late and you're sweating and you're hot and you measure 99.5, they're going to put you in a separate room, air-conditioned room, give you a chance to cool off for about 10 minutes and check your temperature again. So the whole idea is just try to stay cool, calm, collected. It's okay if you're a minute or two late. There's probably going to be a line anyways. Try to be early so that not everybody's waiting for you. The 99.5 is the number that has been identified by the college health professionals. So it is less than the CDC says, but 99.5 is our number, guys. So I just want to give you fair warning so that if you're coming from the gym or something, that could be an issue. 2B says you will respond to the COVID-19 student and staff health questionnaire. You must complete this document accurately and truthfully. If you're not permitted to participate in person, your faculty member will contact you with additional information. Any questions on that agreement?
No.
It seems pretty straightforward.
Good. Good. Please, and guys, if you have questions, don't be embarrassed. Just get in there. I want to make sure all this stuff's handled. This is the meat and potatoes of.
Do you know any apps that could help us like e-sign it or no?
Somebody submitted something to me this morning with the e-signature. Who was that? Was that one of you on the line here? What did you use for that? Somebody emailed me a document that had the signature, and they used an electronic, it was electronic PDF signature deal. So if I get the name of the electronic signature app, I'll let you know.
There's this one app called Kami, with a Kami. I think Kami, yeah. It lets you sign things like electronically, and all you have
Okay.
to do is just save it, and you can save it to your Google Drive,
Okay,
and
I'll
you
take a
guys can
look.
use it.
I'll take a look at that one, and then let's see. Somebody else said something here. Some PDF files will let you type in the line, and then I believe you can do it with Microsoft Word. So I think if you're typing in the line, that's okay, but there's some apps where it has to be like a digital signature, where it's actually a signature, because they don't want you to just type in there, because anybody could type your name in there. But if it's a digital signature or an actual signature, then it actually has, it's actually official. So I do know that, so Microsoft Word, there's an option to do that, it sounds like also. So I'll take a look at that.
When I filled out my California Promise Grant, I had to do that over the internet because I couldn't turn it in person. So I actually just turned down my mouse sensitivity really low and then used it like a pen, signed that as writing on the PDF file. So maybe you could do that.
Okay, that's a good idea too. So PDF, mouse over PDF. Okay. All right. Yeah, so printing it, signing it, and emailing it back is a good option as well. Although, not everybody will have access to a printer. If you do, that works for me. I don't know. I think that'll work for everyone else. So.
Because what I'm using right now is I'm copying the file to Microsoft Word and just like typing in my name as a signature.
And then you select the option that says type your name as a signature.
No, not yet. I'm still looking for it.
You're just typing your name though.
Yeah.
Got it.
Does that work, or do I have to like make it like a signature type of?
Well, I think that if you're, for me, that works if you're submitting it on Canvas, because nobody else is able to submit stuff through your Canvas. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
so I'm going to accept that, and if it gets kicked back and they don't like it, I'll let you know. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Okay, so good deal. So that is as much as I'm going to do. I could go through all this stuff with you guys line by line. I don't know if that's a valuable use of our time. So when I look at modules here, there's 3 things we want to complete by the end of the week. The first one here is this COVID stuff, right? I believe there's 14 steps here. Okay, we got to complete all 14 of those. So like I said, you're going to click the first one, review it. When you're done reviewing it, you come down here, click next. I don't know where that 150 disposable mask thing came from. Okay, so on the bottom right of your screen, it'll say next, and then it'll say previous. If you go assignment by assignment, take your time, read it, make sure you get it, take those quizzes at the end of the COVID module, and check, you'll be done with COVID. Then you'll do your safety requirements for SP2. Check, you're done with that. Then you can review this video again if you need to. If you need help submitting an electronic document on Canvas, you can select General Resources, and Mr. Monroy does a great job of showing you how to do that. All right. Questions?
When it says, because I remember a bit back, it was saying you need a CDC approved mask. I have a bunch of face masks from where I work. They're like regular blue and white paper face masks. How would I know if it's something that would be CDC approved?
Let's look.
From what I know, most masks have to have like a double or triple layer to be CDC approved.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure in order for them to give them to the employees in the first place, they have to be CDC approved. But I just wanted to make sure so I don't show up and look like an idiot.
No, yeah, I understand.
Approved particulate filtering. No. You guys aren't using respirators. Are cloth masks effective?
I heard that mostly bandanas and like very thin cloth masks are approved.
Here's what the CDC recommends. CDC recommends wearing cloth face coverings as a protective measure in addition to social distancing. Cloth face coverings may be especially important when social distancing is not possible or feasible based on work conditions. A cloth face covering may reduce the amount of large respiratory droplets that a person spreads when talking, sneezing, or coughing. So I think that if you're wearing any homemade cloth face mask, that's sufficient. If you're wearing the disposable face masks, that's sufficient. So I think that if your face is covered, nobody's going to question what's going on where you got your mask. So does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. No, these are all good questions, guys. Anything else? Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, here's my notes here, guys. So tell me if I'm missing anything. Let's see here. I'm going to try to find the SP2 training video to show you guys how to navigate SP2. I will post it in the safety requirements module. Okay. I'm going to add a picture on the Canvas icon so that you guys can identify this class easier. I'm going to play with a couple apps to see which app, if there's an app that's easy to use to sign these documents. Parking. I didn't talk about parking, but the last I heard, has anybody been going to campus for anything that's on this call?
Not for a few months.
Okay. I'm going to stop sharing here real quick so you guys can see me. All right, there you are. All right, so what I understand as far as parking goes is there's a parking garage near the diesel building from what I understand. And it sounds like that's the parking garage that is open right now. As we get closer to coming to campus and I have more information, I will share that with you. For right now, I do know that I've been told the parking structure near the diesel building is open and parking permits are required. So if you do not have a parking permit, I encourage you to get one. If you need help getting a parking permit, I would contact the school district or the Miramar College Police office and ask them the best way to do that. Okay, any questions about the parking?
You can just, oh, sorry, go ahead.
So I know you have to like order them online and then pick them up, but do you have like an idea of where we could pick them up if we do order them online to pick them up?
The parking permit?
You order them at the you pick them up at the police station, like by the garage parking.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so that garage that has the police station attached to it, I imagine they have some sort of social distance handoff method. I know that office has a big window in front of the counter, so I'm pretty sure you could do that.
There's also like a day pass too.
What did they say? A day pass what?
There's a machine, like when you get to a parking lot, there's a machine you could pay, but with cash only. And you
Oh,
get like
yeah.
a day pass.
Yeah, the trick with that is it gets pretty expensive. So if you're trying to save money, just buy one for the semester and I think that's a better deal, so.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Any other questions on the parking?
Can you just like bike if you want to though? Like not bring your car at all?
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I know that I think there's a bike rack in front of the automotive building. If not, you can just chain it to the chain link fence. That's part of the building. You know, so that would be totally fine. I mean, if you live that close, it totally makes sense to do that. So, anything else?
I have a question not regarding parking though.
What's the question?
Oh, in the email you sent on the first day of class update, you were talking about an access code, an online access code that we need to purchase. I mean, what is that?
The online access code is your book. So instead of buying a physical book for this class, you're buying an online access code to a CDX. And CDX is a training system for automotive. The book, I think, is, what is it, $259, guys? Has anyone bought it yet?
I haven't bought it. I'm gonna call the company to get like a discount. But yeah, it's $250 at the bookstore.
Yeah, so it's $250, but it covers 8 or 9 classes at Miramar. So when I went to school at Miramar 100 years ago, I just lost
100 years ago. How old are you?
No, it feels like it. But when I went to school, I mean, each class, the book was $100, right? So it was like $100 per class. So that was about $800 to $900 in books to get through the automotive program. We found this deal through CDX where it's all online, and we're getting it to you guys for about $260. So the physical book is CDX is an online book, so you will have access to it for 2 years. And then along with that, they're going to send you a workbook that has blank worksheets. And that's how, you know, when we get back to a normal situation, that's what you'll be filling out when we're working in the lab. So at this part of the semester, we're doing everything electronically. And then that handwritten workbook you'll use for your next class or towards the end of the semester if we get back to a physical session. So
The teacher from yesterday, I had a Zoom video with Martin Kennedy. He told me don't buy the textbook through Amazon or any other website because the textbook.
Correct. If you buy that textbook, if you buy it through Amazon or any other website besides so you could use the option I gave you in the syllabus, or you can use the Miramar bookstore. Those access codes are linked to our Canvas website. If you buy it from Amazon or any other bookstore, it's not going to be linked to Canvas. It's not going to work for you. Anybody else?
How would it not work for you?
Because the access code for CDX is assigned to our school. So if you buy one on Amazon, it may not be assigned to any school. It might just be a random book that only works through the CDX website. So when you take a quiz or a test, I won't be able to see the scores or anything like that. And it won't link so when you guys log into Canvas, it should automatically log you into CDX as well. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other questions on the parking or the books?
Can you park in like I've heard of some people who actually go to the Home Depot parking lot and they just hike. I personally wouldn't do that because I feel like it would screw up your temperature reading, but are you allowed to do that?
I think that if you're parking in the Home Depot parking lot, I think that parking lot, if you read when you pull into those parking lots, it usually says parking here is for customers only. So, I mean, it's probably okay. I don't think anyone's going to say anything, but I mean, that's all on you, right? If something happens to your car out there or if, you know, you got to hike it. I mean, I don't know. That's up to you.
It's at your own risk for sure.
How much is a parking permit for the semester, guys?
25.
$35?
25.
25?
That's way cheaper than I thought it was.
For me, it was 40.
I bought it for 25.
How did you
Same.
get the parking permit for $25? Where did you go?
Yeah, I want to know.
It was on the portal, and then there's like, you know, the bookstore link, and then there's like one below that is like parking permit, and it showed like the semester fall 2020 for $25.
Okay. So who bought the $40 one? Dave?
Bought it for 25, yes.
Wait, who paid 40?
I was going to, but now that there's a 25, I'll rather do the 25.
Okay, if you can find it, but even if it's 40 might cover the fall and the spring. So I just double check, make sure you know what you're getting. Okay. But here's what I was going to say. This class is 16 weeks long, right? So it's so for $25, it's less than $2 a week for parking. So it's less than $1 a day to park. Does that make sense? You're just paying in advance. So, you know, sometimes you got to look at it. 16 weeks, you're going to be coming to school 32 times. It's costing you, like, I'm going to do the math just for fun here. It's 78 cents a day to park if you buy the $25 permit. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
I see what there's two numbers. It says here on stmiramar.edu that the auto parking permit is $40 for a semester, but students who are determined eligible for financial aid based on income standards may purchase an automobile parking permit for $25 per semester.
Okay. So if you don't qualify for the financial aid, it costs you $1.25 a day for buying the $40 permit. So buying the permits, I mean, it's $1 a day to park your car there. I think it's worth it just for the convenience of not having to walk across the world, right? So, so it's up to you guys. You know, I as a staff member, I get free parking. Here's the deal. I think a parking violation is like $70. So just buy a dang parking permit, put it in your mirror, forget about it, right? Or ride your bike, or however you're going to get to school. So, you know, sometimes in life we buy things for the convenience, and you just got to kind of not worry about how much it costs. So, yeah, I think that 25 is a smoking deal. If you can get it for 40, I think that's not a bad deal either. So, any other questions on the parking?
I think I'll go with the 40. I don't want to risk anything.
Well, I mean, and if you qualify for financial aid, I mean, it's just a form you fill out and they tell you. So it's not, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I wish they would tell you which financial aid form there is, because there's the FAFSA and there's the Promise Grant, and they're different. Because the FAFSA depends on if you can, in fact, contact your legal guardians before you turned 18 for tax return and other information, and if you don't have that information, then you can just do the Promise Grant. So it's different depending on the student. So you don't know which one it applies to.
So if I were in your shoes, I would take the extra 10 to 15 minutes and fill out both applications, submit both of them, and see what happens. Because in today's world, there's a lot of free money floating around out there and a lot of other benefits floating around. And if it takes 15 minutes to get those benefits by filling out a form, it seems like it might be worth it to me. So, you know, I wouldn't be too proud. I would just grab whatever forms are available, fill them out, submit them. Worst thing they're going to say is you don't qualify.
Mm-hmm.
Even today, I have 3 kids, right? Anytime the school sends me forms for financial aid, I fill them out and they just say you don't qualify because I make too much money. And that's fine, right? Like, hopefully everybody's in that position someday, but if I did qualify, that would save me a few bucks, and that would be a good thing. So just, you know, when it's confusing like that, sometimes it's better just fill out the form and let them say no instead of not filling it out. So
Uh-huh.
encourage you to do that. 15 minutes might save you, what is the Geico thing?
50% or more on
$20
car
or more on a
insurance.
parking permit. Let's see. So we had an issue here on the portal. Same problem, they'll fix it. Did you guys get that resolved on the chat there?
I'm emailing the person right now, so I guess so.
Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, cool. All right, so.
I actually have one more question.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
You emailed me about the Mopar documents, and
Yes.
you also mentioned that like if I don't have a SID number, I don't understand it.
I emailed you about a SID number.
Yeah, or from.
So your SID, I believe, is your student ID number.
What
Did
is that?
Did
Oh,
Marty,
I see. I see.
Did Marty Kennedy message you about that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to need to send him your student ID number. So that's the number you're using to log into Canvas.
Right.
So are you able to get that to him?
Well, I mean, I already have the PDFs. It's just I don't know. I didn't know what an SID number was.
Now you know?
Yeah.
All right. All right. See, school, man. That's why you go to school, so you can learn things, right?
Yeah.
Right on, guys. So let's see.
Knowledge is power.
That's right. Let's see where we're at. So we got parking situated. Just before I get into these last two things here, last three things, one of the things I do at my house is I get a spray bottle from Home Depot. It's like $1.99. And then I do that dilution of bleach and water, and I just keep that around the house. And anytime maybe I have a guest or something, somebody needs to use the bathroom that's not part of my household, I just go behind them with that bleach. Like I'll spray down the toilet and the sink and all the knobs and door handles that they may have used and wipe it all down just to help keep my house clean with that. I would encourage anyone to do that. And then I keep a spray bottle like that in all of my trailers as well. So
spray them with Lysol.
Lysol's really good also, but the bleach, the thing with the bleach is it's cheap, right? Because you buy it by the gallon for $3 or $4, and a spray bottle is $2, and the water's free. So that's just one of the ways I'm doing it right now. And a lot of times I clean my groceries as well before they come in the house. I don't know, maybe I'm too over cautious about it, but
too paranoid.
but it's not. It's kind of nice to just know that your stuff's clean when it's coming in the house. We're kind of getting used to it, and it's like kind of something we just enjoy doing now, you know. So,
Yeah.
anyways, I wanted to share that. So, yes, sir.
I just checked my student dashboard, college dashboard. My Promise Grant went through, and in fact, the Promise Grant for any of you guys, if you are doing that, does take the parking down to $25 for an automotive.
Nice.
Parking pass.
But grants the money you have to pay back.
Sorry?
No, it's not.
No, grants you don't have to pay back.
No, yeah, it's the Promise Grant. It's part of the community college. It's a big thing. You should Google it. It's pretty interesting though.
The Promise.
From what I know, I know there's some grants for like they charge you back.
Yeah, there's some student programs where it's like a student loan and it's not actually a grant. So FAFSA, I believe, is a grant. And so is the San Diego Promise. So the San Diego Promise essentially is giving you, it's pretty much free college. And I think almost anybody who's graduated high school in the last 2 or 3 years might be eligible for that. So I encourage you guys, any of those financial aid forms, just fill them out. Even if you make $200,000 a year, just fill it out anyways, because you might qualify for that.
So wait, Henry, where did you go to fill out the grant?
So it's a bit of a roundabout process, but I actually had to, I can send you the download link if you want. I got a PDF off of the school's website, which was a PDF of the promise grant itself, and then I emailed that PDF to the email for student aids. Sometimes it'll take them 2 emails to respond because I think they're just getting mobbed with emails right now. But I can
Henry.
type both of those in chat.
Henry, can you do me a favor?
Yes?
Can you email that to me or send it to me one way or another, and then I'll get it out to the whole class?
You got it.
He could put it in the chat too, so that's easier for all of us right now.
Oh, that's true. If it's easy enough to put in the chat, and then I can send it out via email as well if somebody doesn't get it on the chat.
You got it. So here is the email that I've been in contact with. It's
Hey, Professor.
Mira Aid at SD, but the PDF was a bit harder to find, so let me get that.
Cool. So Henry, while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and try to wrap up these last 3 items.
Sounds great. Go on ahead.
So I've got here's the plan for the rest of the week, guys. The plan for the rest of the week is this. You have 2 safety quizzes on the website sp2.org, okay? And then you have the COVID training and the COVID quizzes that are in the modules. Okay, those are the 2 things that we got to get done by Thursday. So what I'm going to do is I wanted to wrap this up at 8, but we went over a little bit. I hope the information was good for everybody. So our focus tonight, let's get the COVID stuff done. And then if you have time, work on the SP2. On Thursday at 6, log in, get as much done of the SP2, try to finish the SP2. I want to have a Zoom session at 8 o'clock on Thursday if you guys are available. I hope that you're available so I can touch base with everybody, make sure all of their stuff is done. So Tuesday, I can have my first group in the lab and we can start working on our projects. So those are the 2 big assignments for the week. Any questions about the assignments?
Nope, all clear.
I think you were pretty thorough about it. I think we got it.
Good deal. Okay, so the last thing, I'm looking at my photo that I took of my participants. I just want to make sure that I got Henry, Jason, Angel, David, Fan, DCC. What's your name? Is that your name? Because I don't think I saw that name on the roster.
It's Daniel Cesena.
Daniel. Okay, got it. Thank you, Cesena. All right, and then Hunter, Jonathan, what's your last name, buddy?
I have 2. It's Nieves Mesa, but I go by the first one, Nieves.
Nieves?
Nieves, Nieves, yeah.
Okay, got it. And then let's see, everybody else looks like they got their name in there good. Okay, so here's the deal. If you are here to crash or add my class, please stay online. Otherwise, if you are already enrolled in my class, have a good night. Thank you guys for being on. It was nice meeting all of you. Thank you for your patience, and it'll get more exciting as we go, I promise. So have a good night, guys.
Professor.
Yes, sir.
One more question. Do you need these Mopart PDFs for the
yeah, that's
super-
another requirement for the class.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got it from Martin rather than.
So what those documents do is it allows Mr. Kennedy to put together or to create your account on the Chrysler website.
Okay.
Because some of our assignments are you're doing factory training on the Chrysler website, so you need to have an account to complete the. Those
All right,
assignments.
we'll do.
Okay, thanks, Daniel. All right, so let's see. Let's see, not all of you are crashing. So is there anybody who has questions before they get off that is not crashing?
Curious about the SP2 login.
Yes, sir. SP2 logins. All right. So let me minimize this screen here and go to SP2.
Yeah, try to get your logins quick because the SP2s are long. I think it's the automotive is the longest, the 19 one.
Yeah, some of those are pretty long. So let's see here. Jason, what's your last name?
It's SU.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I'm sorry, Patrick, you were asking, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Jason, give me 1 sec. So Patrick,
Okay.
I'm mixing up my names here. So I got Patrick Rolt. I'm looking to see if you're, Patrick, have you taken automotive courses at Miramar before?
No, that's my first one.
Okay, so then I'm gonna have to create an account for you. So I'm gonna add student.
You know my email address?
It's not necessary. I think you can add it once you log in.
Okay.
Oh, let's see, I spelled your name with an L instead of my let's see here. Brault. All right. All right, Patrick, your username is going to be Patrick Brault, no spaces. And then your password is going to be password.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Are we all going to have accounts created for us, or can we create our own accounts?
I think there's a way to create your own account, but I'm getting Patrick set up.
Okay.
So let's see here. And then this course, and this course. Okay, Patrick, so you should be good to go. So if you go to sp2.org, you should be able to do that there.
Okay. And were there 3 acknowledgements that we had to sign and get to you?
For the COVID?
Yeah.
I think I saw 2 that you have to sign.
But the
So-
student agreement and training lab processes.
I think the training lab process, yeah, and the student agreement, and then I think the other one you're going to sign each day as you check in.
Well, there was another one that was understanding COVID risks, but that
Did
one
that
has
one have a
auto
signature?
53.
Did that one have a signature on it?
It does, yeah. But it also says auto 53 at the top, not 56.
Yeah, so that's the one. I probably just need to edit it. So
All right.
go ahead and just print it and sign it, and as long as it's in there, we'll just go with it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, cool.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, does anyone else have questions about the SP2 or need a login for the SP2?
I need a login.
Okay, so Dave Fan. Anybody else need a login for the SP2?
I have a account previously from my other teacher. I'm not sure if you can add courses or not because it was from another teacher.
Okay. So Hunter and Dave, what I'd like to do, just for time's sake, can I email you the information for the SP2?
Yes.
Because what I'll do is I'll go in, I'll find your account, I'll create it or update it as needed, and then get you guys set up.
Yeah, that's good with me.
Okay, Dave and Hunter, I will email you guys.
All right.
All right, guys, have a good night.
You too.
All right, thanks.
So for SP2, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I also need help signing up to the SP2.
Reynaldo, so I'm going to add your name to that list, and I'll be emailing you as soon as I'm done with this call, okay?
All right.
Just for time's sake. And then, so just look out for my email in the next 20 minutes or so, and we'll get that handled.
Okay, thank you.
Okay? All right, thanks, Reynaldo.
Yeah, I hate to, surely there's a way I can do it myself, Fred. I'm just not seeing it.
For the SP2?
Yeah.
Possibly, but you'll need admin access. So,
Okay.
so that's why I said I was going to post a video, but
Okay.
also it's pretty easy for me to just do it from my end as well. So,
Okay, I'd appreciate it if you could. I should tell you though, if I do get added to the class, my name isn't right in the school system. My name is Henry Phillips, but due to a clerical error, the system, at least on my ID last time I checked, was Alexander, first name Alexander, middle name Phillips, last name Henry, for whatever reason.
got it. Okay, so you'll need to talk to admissions about fixing that.
Yeah.
But thanks for letting me know, because I may have gotten confused by that one.
Yeah.
So, okay, so let's see. So Omar, are you looking to add the class?
Wait, could you repeat that?
Are you looking to add the class, or did you have a question about the SP2?
No, I think I should be all good. I was about to head out right now.
Okay, Omar, thanks, bud.
Have a good night.
You
All right,
too,
good night,
thanks.
everybody.
All right, so I got Jason, Henry, and Dave. You guys are looking to add the class? Oh, Dave just checked out, so he
Yeah.
must be good. So I got Jason and Henry. So I'm going to add Jason. And Henry. All right, so here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm also going to verify. So tonight I only had 12 people check in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check my roster, find out who was not here, contact them, and if there is room in the class, I'm going to email you an ad code, and then you guys will be able to add the class. How's that sound?
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I just need a few minutes to get that done, and then I'll tell you what, just check in the morning, because I might need a few minutes to get a hold of these people. Okay.
right.
I mean, you could
Okay.
check tonight, because I think that my roster was 14. If my roster is 14 and you two guys sat through this class, I'm going to add you. Okay. But if it's 15 or 16, I got to find out who didn't show. So, sound good?
Sounds great.
Yep.
I appreciate your consideration.
Hey, no problem, guys. Thank you
Thanks.
for hanging in there, and stay tuned. Hopefully you'll be in the class.
All right.
All right. Talk to you in a
Have a
bit.
good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
Have a great evening.